According to this USA Today article, Senate healthcare bill protesters dragged away from die-in at Mitch McConnell's office. So we'll go ahead and take a look at this article and a few video clips as well. On the day that GOP senators released their version of legislation to repeal and replace Obamacare, protesters staged Thursday a sit-in in front of Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell's office, resulting in 43 people being forcibly removed and arrested. The disability rights activists, some of whom were in wheelchairs, were there to voice their opposition to healthcare legislation that would make deep cuts to Medicaid. They called their protest a die-in. Capitol Police spokeswoman Eva Malecki said many of their demonstrators removed themselves from their wheelchairs and laid down on the floor blocking the hallway. One video showed people chanting, "No cuts to Medicaid, save our liberty." The Capitol Police said 15 men and 28 women were arrested and charged with crowding and obstructing. There were reports of blood on the ground and paramedics arriving on the scene. Interesting to keep in mind that none of the footage shows any hostile police officers, no aggressive actions, so I am led to believe that the blood was probably from someone with a medical issue. But let's take a look at some of that footage, shall we?
Ma'am, are you being arrested?
Yes, I am.
I think it's important to point out, first of all, that protesters of any caliber would have been removed for doing the same thing that they did, especially laying down flat on the ground and obstructing people from walking. So, of course, they weren't given special privileges, but these special people were given the same exact treatment as other people. So, I don't know, kind of poetic in a way. On the other point, I won't pretend to stand up for Trump Care or whatever they're calling it, the American Health Care Act. I don't know enough about it to say it sucks, it's good. I'm pretty sure it sucks because compelled health insurance, at least in my opinion, is a load of shit. But I don't know enough about the actual bill to talk shit on it or talk shit on these people and their perspective. I do have sympathy for these people, though. Having the disabilities that they have, they are limited in their ability to protest. So, jumping out of their wheelchair in front of Mitch McConnell's office is pretty much their only option to, I hate to say this, generate awareness. Because these people are easily ignored because of their disabilities. Sometimes life just sucks. And everyone gets handed a shitty deck to play with in life, right? And some people obviously get handed shittier playing decks than others. So having a debilitating disability like this is sad. I won't debate that whatsoever. However, there is something to consider when putting the burden of finances on the state or on the taxpayer. Not saying I'm against it necessarily, just it's something to consider. Should individual families have to pay for the loved ones of theirs that are disabled, or should that just be automatically covered by healthcare providers? I don't know. I don't think I really have an opinion, honestly, but I do think it's important to keep an open mind. One thing to consider, though, is that this could be a political tactic. This entire protest could have been done, or rather, it was organized in order to characterize Republicans and people who are pro-Trump care as being anti-people with special needs. It's a very common tactic from Democrats and people on the left. of demonizing you by making you appear to be an enemy of perceived disenfranchised groups. With the political climate being what it has been, neither side has really been playing clean, so I think it's fair to consider that protests like this have an ulterior motive. One thing I'm sure you noticed was in the video clip, the people who were standing by were just feigning amazement on how evil these police officers were, for very calmly and very patiently picking up people and removing them, and going back to the next people who were laying there, picking them up and carefully removing them. If anything, I think they showed a level of discipline that is quite admirable. So yeah, that's all I got for now, but we're going to end with this short clip from yesterday over at VidCon. So, Sargon of Akkad, Jeff Holiday, Chris Reagan, all of the shitlords that were going to meet up at VidCon went to the Feminist Frequency panel and sat front row, just about 20 of them or so, according to one of the people that was there filming. And Anita was very clearly stirred up by this, and she eventually confronted Sargon and called him a garbage human.
Hi, hamster. I love you too.
This dude who are making these dumbass videos that just say the same shit over and over again. And like, I hate to give you attention because you're a garbage human. Whatever, dude.